Lines of this, and we thank you so much for being here this morning. We want to kind of talk to you right now. We've been getting a lot of questions from people still about COVID-19, but you were telling me right now we are community spread, so that's something that you do want to talk about this morning.
Yes, good morning everybody. I do. First of all, I want to say we have a great healthcare community. So while you see me out and about, behind the scenes, we've got a wonderful healthcare community working to prepare for what we're frankly concerned we might be facing in the next couple of weeks. We do have community spread here in Acadiana with increased testing. We now know that this virus is circulating in this community. And I just can't, I don't know how else to implore the community. We say the same thing over and over again, but these orders that you're hearing to stay home, to limit your interactions with others, it's really critical that at this moment you do that. You plan today to stay home unless you're an essential worker and you need to be out and about. You need to go to work. You need to go to the grocery store, the drugstore. When you are out, keep 6 feet away from other people. When you get into your car, use hand sanitizer if you have it. When you get home, wash your hands with soap and water. And until all that happens, don't touch your face with hands that might be dirty. We've got community spread. We see what's happening in other parts of the country, and we're not immune here in Acadiana. We could be facing that same healthcare crisis in a couple of weeks if people don't do everything that they can to limit their exposure and to help reduce the further spread of this virus in this community of Acadiana. And we can do it, but I can tell you our neighbors to the east are struggling. There are projections that are very concerning from a healthcare perspective about what New Orleans might be facing in a couple of weeks. And again, we are not immune to that. We might be a couple of weeks behind if things don't change, but we're not immune, and people need to take heed, stay home, limit their spread to other people, and limit your risk of exposure.
And I think a lot of questions from people have been kind of dealing with testing for COVID-19. A lot of people who are younger are wondering if they have symptoms, why they're not being tested, why are the tests taking so long, things like that.
Sure, and so this is a nationwide problem. The tests do take, so if you're tested, it's going to take a couple of days for the test result to come back. So if you're tested, go home and isolate yourself as though you do have coronavirus. It might take 5 or 6 days for you to get those results. So testing is only one small part of it at this point because it is taking so long for test results to come back. The hope is that over the next couple of days and weeks that will improve and we'll get a test that, that may be a turnaround in a couple of days. But until that happens, it looks like it's still going to take a few days. So the testing right now is limited to those people who seem to be at highest risk for severe disease. But young people are at risk. We see that happening now in other parts of the U.S. So if you're not able to get tested, then you should stay home, take care of yourself, and act essentially as though you do have this virus. And hopefully within a week your symptoms will improve and you will be able to again resume, I guess essentially leave your room, but you're still not going to be able to go out and about in the community because we will still be under this order to stay home.
Now, is there anything over the counter that you can do to reduce those symptoms or anything like that?
So I would say do what you normally do. So again, for most people, it should be symptoms like a cold or the flu. So do what you normally do to care for yourself. We don't know enough about this virus to know what over-the-counter medications. There is no proven treatment. Lots of studies underway, but there is no proven treatment. So do what you would normally do to stay at home. There is some concern about ibuprofen that has not been proven. There's no scientific evidence to show that ibuprofen is bad if you have coronavirus, but again, we don't have enough evidence. So do what you normally do to take care of yourself. The most important thing that you can do is in the household, limit your spread to other people. Isolate yourself in a room if you can. Have one family member who takes care of you, and again, do what you can to limit the spread, but don't go out and about. Again, hopefully you have mild symptoms, but do not go out and about in public when you're feeling ill. If you're sick, you're going to have to stay home at least a week.
Real quick, what if you're an essential worker and somebody tests positive within your household?
So if you're an essential worker, then the positive individual should isolate themselves in their room. But if you can, some people are actually living in separate households if they can. Essential workers, healthcare especially, that's a concern for a lot of people.
Okay.
All right, Dr. Tina, as always, thank you so much for being here this morning. We appreciate everything that you're doing.
Thanks for the opportunity.
The time now is 6:23. We have much more to do here on GMA. Stay with us.